Welcome back, everyone. Michael Rosmer here with Offshore Citizen, and today we're going to discuss the subject of what is remittance-based tax. Before we get started, if you have not subscribed, please click the subscribe button. We would love it a lot. And the notification bell too. Okay, diving in here. What is remittance-based tax? Remittance-based tax is probably the least common of the three major types of tax, which tends to be worldwide tax, the most common, territorial tax, the second most common, remittance-based. And sometimes we have kind of quasi-systems. So for instance, Gibraltar, Malta, I would say, maybe Thailand, sort of, Singapore, you have kind of quasi-remittance-based systems, okay? So what's the idea of a remittance-based system? The idea of a remittance-based system, in theory, is that you only pay tax on money that is sent into the country. So if you think about this compared to a territorial tax system, territorial, in theory, if the money is earned locally but not remitted, then it would be taxable, right? But in a remittance-based system, if it's never remitted locally, then it's not taxable. Now, again, how you determine this gets to be a little bit interesting, but generally speaking, we're looking at, is it transferred to a local bank account, okay? So where does this become relevant? Well, it becomes relevant in cases such as when people want to move to Malta, right? You can take advantage of a remittance-based system in a bunch of cases there, so that's quite useful. So if you don't remit the money into the country, you remit it, okay, you bring in whatever you bring in, you pay tax on that, wonderful, great. It becomes relevant in Thailand. In Thailand, they have a system where you only pay tax pretty much on what you bring in that year from the perspective of dividends. So if you have dividends that you keep outside of the country for at least a year and then you remit those dividends in after a year, then they're not taxable, so that's useful. It's not actually so useful in Singapore, but because they use it kind of to get you as opposed to not get you. But anyway, the bottom line is that this idea of remittance is basically, were the funds transferred to you? Perhaps like one of the most famous examples of this is the UK had a resident non-dom program. Okay, so there's this idea of domicile versus residency. And so in that particular case, it didn't apply for earned income, but you could have these basically set up two accounts, and the one that's earning like your investment returns, so long as those returns were not remitted into UK, if you were a non-domiciled resident, you wouldn't pay tax on that. And that was super useful because you had a lot of rich people who may want to move to London and places like this. Super, super cool. So anyway, that's pretty much it. It's, I don't know that there's that much to explain. There's probably a bunch of nuances that I'm just not thinking about what people may have an interest in, like some of the, kind of the subtleties that come up. So if you have a specific case, bring it up with me, and then I can kind of address it from there. It's not something that we see a lot because, like I said, there's very few countries that really have to deal with remittance-based tax, and as a result, not so important. But hey, if it is something that you can take advantage of, by all means, do it. If you like the video, please click the subscribe button, click the like button. It helps us a lot. Really appreciate it. We'd love for you to go and check out some of our other videos. I try and produce lots of videos. I want to produce lots more. So if you want to see a particular topic, write it down in the comments below. I will definitely read them all and respond to you, and we can go from there. If you would like some help with something, you could book a call. There's a link below, clarity.fm/Michael Rosmer, or you can check out our websites, offshorecitizen.net, offshorecapitalist.com, and yeah, we're happy to help you. So I will see you guys on the next video.